Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark from the United States.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mark. You know where I'm from. I'm doing fantastic. I hope you are as well. I invite you to come sit with me. Today, we get to look at the Blackpool. That's that town north of Liverpool, right there on the coast, yes? The Blackpool Illuminations. Now, this is the history of. This is with AdventureMe, Darren over there, of course, one of the friends of our channel. He is awesome, does a lot of cool videos, a lot of little interesting videos, takes us tours through things that we would normally never see, and that's why I enjoy his channel. Of course, he has been so gracious to allow us to watch and learn from his stuff, and I really appreciate him. Please just scroll down. You'll see links to this video if you don't want to hear what was it? My drivel, I think is what it was said. If you don't want to hear my drivel. Also, apparently Americans talk a lot, which we probably do. I can't argue that. If you don't want to hear me, go take that link. I'm encouraging you right now to click on that link. Takes you right to the video. You don't have to hear me at all. Awesome. In fact, I prefer you go and watch the video on Darren's channel. If you want to hang out, awesome. So then just go over there after you watch this, or go there first and then come back, however you want to do it. Also, there's a link to his channel. It's going to take you to where all his videos are. Get lost on his channel. Watch a bunch of different videos. If you have one like or one subscription today, I encourage you to give it to Darren and AdventureMe, please. I'm just grateful that I have so many of you that come back and hang out with me. It's been such a joy. So come sit with me. You know the drill. It's a big fake couch. Everybody's welcome. We're going to watch this. I'm going to learn something today, maybe something you'll get to see. Or I want to know who's been here, first of all, so that's going to be a question that you all can answer. And then, of course, you can add some things, add some context to the stuff that I'm going to inevitably miss. So let's get into it. This is the Blackpool Illuminations. Now, I'm assuming this video is a couple months old. So this isn't just a Christmas thing, that it might be year-round. But yeah, I love, me and loving light shows and stuff like that, light displays. It's fun. So let's learn. All right, let's do it.
Welcome to the world-famous Blackpool Illuminations.
Go support, please.
Well, here we are in Blackpool. Well, technically Bispham, which is the north end of the Illumination Trail, which is over 6 miles in length. And we're going to head down today from what they call the tableaus here at Bispham, all the way down to Stargate at the other side of Blackpool. So let's get going, and we're going to take a look at the history of the Blackpool Illuminations. The greatest light show on earth, some would call it. My mum would say the same when I left the big light on in the house. It's like Blackpool bleeding illuminations in here. First shone in 1879, they've been lighting up our autumns for almost 150 years, and the first example in the world of electric street lighting. In fact, they predate Thomas Edison's electric light bulb by a year.
That's wild. 1879. Holy moly, or 1878, 79. That's... People must have thought they were nuts trying to create this, for sure. That's a long time ago.
When you think that back in 1879, most homes were still lit by candlelight.
Right.
This must have been such a spectacle that kept growing and growing each season. It all started when Blackpool Council devoted over £5,000 to experiment with the concept of electric street lighting. The original display consisted of 8 arc lamps on 60-foot poles between the north and central piers. This was the beginning of the world-famous Blackpool Illuminations. The arcs, or illuminations, were so popular and bright in the beginning that they were dubbed artificial sunshine by its many visitors. However, it wasn't always awe-inspiring in their early years, as the lamps used to go out as the tide came in. Water would leak into the cast iron wiring pipes and shut them out. The closest display to what we have today started in 1912. It was to commemorate a royal visit by Princess Louise, who had opened a new section of the promenade. In this year, up to 10,000 lights shone, and they became even more popular. When World War I started, the illuminations had to be put on hold,
out. Yep.
and they went dark for a period of 11 years.
That would be bad to have this thing going on during the wartime. But it's just interesting that most people, the statement, most people were still using candles when these things were starting to pop up. And it looks like it's right down there near the water. It used to short out, which was mind-boggling. God, this is... Why? I wonder.
Be put on hold, and they went dark for a period of 11 years. They returned in 1925 bigger and better than they'd ever been, stretching for several miles down the promenade between Manchester Square and Cocker Square. By 1929, they even illuminated all 3 of the piers, and this was the year that the famous animated tableaus appeared along the cliffs at North Shore and Bispam. The Second World War stopped the famous light show once again, this time for a period of about 20 years.
Dang.
Whilst the country remained dark and in lightless conditions. The illuminations didn't return again until 1949, once the council had received permission from the government and the austerity measures had eased. They were switched on by actress Anna Neagle. The illuminations have shone consecutively since 1950 and become more and more popular and much bigger as the years went by. They traditionally shine from the end of August until early November every single year.
Okay, so it's not a year-round thing. End of August. What do you say? End of August to January?
Shine from the end of August until early November every single year.
So, okay, early August to November. So, are they not on now? Or did that change? There's the Imperial Hotel. I've seen or heard about that place in Blackpool.
Since 2020, they have even been extended right through until early January.
Yes, you got to keep them up for
They've
Christmas.
continued to be updated every year with new additions and changes in technology, changing the LED lighting in recent times, and even reduced to operate in lower voltage of 12 volts and 24 volts, with the hope of them being carbon neutral very soon.
There you go.
Some of the famous faces who have turned on the illuminations include Ken Dodd, David Tennant, Hollywood director Tim Burton, Shirley Bassey, George Formby, Andrew Lloyd Webber, Status Quo, Bee Gees, and Gary Barlow. Even characters such as Kermit the Frog and the racehorse Red Rum have been given the pleasure. This year, Spice Girl Mel B had the honour. Even the trams didn't escape the light treatment, running themed and illuminated for many years. They've also changed many times with different designs and concepts. Today, we can still see some of the illuminated trams ferrying passengers up and down the Golden Mile.
Well, that's awesome. I've been watching this with a big smile on my face, or at least not big, but, a permanent grin, because it just makes me so happy. I'm glad they extended it to cover the holidays. That only makes sense to me, because I initially thought this is a holiday thing, but they were actually shutting it down before Christmas, but I'm glad they've extended it now. and they've made it a thing. And they're updating it, changing it. Yeah, it keeps people coming back. I would love to see this. Oh my God. Totally. I've heard a lot of positives, but I've also heard a lot of negatives about Blackpool in my time with our channel. I think the city is going through its ebbs and flows just like a lot of other places. So I don't, when I hear the term Blackpool, I think of a once real popular town that may have, have fallen kind of on hard times because of, the tourists stopped coming. But if this is such a big deal, they at least are coming back for that. Yeah, you'll have to let me know if this draws in a lot of crowds.
Each section of the
Looks
illuminations
awesome.
have to be taken down, maintained and reinstalled every single year,
Wow.
with their old storage and maintenance depot being located near Tramtown on Rigby Road. This has since moved to a brand new premises on the site of Blackpool Airport.
That's great.
They are an ingenious way to bring in extra visitors in a period where it would normally start to wind down as we head into autumn.
That's right, because it's more like a seaside touristy place. Like people go up there to go to the beach, right? Being right there on the coast, on the western coast, I guess. So, but to have to take them down every year and put them back up, that's wild. Because especially now, if they go from August through till January, I mean, probably takes a month to take everything down, or probably less to take it down, but more, a month to put it up. That is crazy. Awesome. It's crazy awesome is what this is.
It's estimated that they bring in up to 3 million extra visitors a year.
There you go.
At a cost of around £1.9 million.
There you go.
Today they run for over 6 miles, which is 10 kilometres,
Wow.
using over 1 million bulbs and 200 miles of cables. They are completely free to see, and donations are welcome but not expected. You can see them in many different ways,
yeah,
from
by
walking
boat.
and driving through them, to taking a heritage tram, or even an open top tram.
That's
along
what
the
I'd
way.
want.
My favourite method is on my bike for the most part, and then walking through the famous tableau section at Bispam. This way you can see them at their full potential, as some of them are animated and have a timed show, when they work, that is. The tableau section is what most people would call the end of the illuminations, as the traffic is encouraged to start at the opposite end and work its way down towards Bispam. Back when all the traffic was routed one way down the promenade, these days it's back to two-way traffic. The tableaus are updated every now and then, with old favourites returning for many years. Some of the sections are
Very
so
cool.
iconic that they've been here for decades, with a few modern touches.
Well, and there's a thing to that too, because I know when I go and see Christmas lights of, like, I think we're going to go to one of our traditional spots this year. And you always go to expect to see this same displays, because it just, elicits so much memories of when we would take the kids when they were younger. And you just love to see them, even though you've seen them hundreds of times. You still get excited to go see them again. So I could see why, bringing back the old displays, people reliving their childhood or when their children were young or whatever. Yeah, I dig it. Oh,
The early part of the illuminations has now been bolstered by a new event called Lightpool.
light.
Sees temporary illuminated artwork installations along the promenade, as well as other areas of Blackpool. These have become just as popular as the main lights themselves.
Yeah.
They don't last for the full period of the illuminations and have to be moved into storage before the real winter weather sets in.
Yeah, that's the thing.
On
How's the
certain
weather
dates,
there?
They also coincide with the annual fireworks championships that run on certain weekends throughout the illumination period.
Fireworks.
Seeing many countries from
championships.
around the world put on their best displays and attracting thousands more visitors to Blackpool's promenade.
Well, that's cool.
And also some of Blackpool's more permanent attractions join the lineup too, even though they tend to shine all year round. You have the Blackpool Tower that has its famous LED lights and love heart symbol. The tower has had many lights over the years, from large sponsorships on the side to lasers being shone from the top and across the Irish Sea. This is one of my earliest memories of the Illuminations as a child. Not forgetting the use of its own giant searchlight that was installed during the war. These have since been discontinued as technologies change and people were getting blinded.
Yeah. Oh,
Then there's
boy.
the amazing mirror
That's a
ball
negative.
located on the headland at South Shore. This is recognised as the world's largest mirror ball at 6 metres in diameter and contains over 47,000 mirror tiles.
Wow.
It's lit up nightly using coloured spotlights from nearby plinths, creating a dazzling display of colour all across the promenade and mesmerising to watch from below. This is well worth a visit, even if it is a good walk away from the main tourist area. Some would say that the illuminations aren't as good as they used to be, since they changed to the LED lamps. They don't seem to be as bright or as dazzling as they were, and have now become a little sparse in certain areas. But we have to remember that these are completely free, and times, technologies, and even priorities change. Other places around the world have tried to replicate the illumination spectacle, and some might even say that Las Vegas is the light capital. But Vegas was nothing more than a cactus tree in the desert when Blackpool first turned theirs on.
That's true.
They've been funded for many years by the local council, with some money coming in from public and private donations. Many of the display sections have had private sponsors, and this has made some sections memorable over the years.
Yeah, that's the way to
From
go right
McDonald's,
there.
Beaverbrooks, Airfix, Coral Island, and the BBC. Not forgetting the many businesses who used to illuminate their frontages along the famous Golden Mile, although this doesn't seem to be as prominent these days. But it is hoped that in time they will be totally funded by private sponsors and donations, becoming self-sufficient. One thing that is for sure is that the crowds keep coming. It's definitely a well-known and celebrated institution in the calendar, and could proudly boast that it is one of the greatest light shows on Earth. So
I'm
get
loving
yourself
it.
to Blackpool and see them for yourself. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Darren. That was awesome. No, I am fully invested in Blackpool Illuminations. That is something I would want to go see. Probably can't see this happening, but you never know. But I could see the allure for sure. I love going to see a nice light display, especially at Christmas time. And, you know, if you're throwing in fireworks and all the other things, yeah, absolutely. Now, probably wouldn't want to travel way out of my way, but there's a lot of things I wouldn't want to travel way out of my way to go see. But this is something that would interest me. So, how many of you have been there? Is it worth going? Is it overrated? You know, let me know what your thoughts are. But what a cool, like I said, I'd heard about Blackpool. I've heard negative things, I've heard positive things. I've heard that it was a town that was very, popular back however long ago, and seaside village. A lot of people would go there, take the family. They had I think roller coasters and stuff like that as well. Pleasure Beach, I think is what it's called. And it was a destination, and then it kind of, as a lot of places do, even here in the States, you see places that were real popular, and then they would just kind of die out the popularity wane. They don't keep it up, and it starts to look run down. But it's nice to see them trying to make this comeback, if we can call it a comeback. But yeah, that is cool. Hopefully, it sounds like it brings in a ton of people. So if they can get corporations to, yes, deal with the advertising, but if they can, influx some money to for the upkeep, they can use it to help clean the city, keep the city going, that sort of thing. If it needs that, I don't know if it needs that, but yeah, that was cool. That was a great video. Well done, Blackpool. Well done. Yeah, let me know if you've been there. I'm curious to know what other impressions that you all might have of Blackpool. I believe Darren resides in that area. Maybe not Blackpool area, but like Leeds, the Leeds area. Brentford. Is that a? I don't know. Let's hop out to a map, shall we? Before we go, let's go to a map and see what we're looking at here. I want Blackpool. Okay, just bear with me here, please. I'm sorry. Blackpool. There we go. Map. All right, let me jump you back out. Oh, hey, welcome back. Here we are. Yeah, so north of Liverpool. There's Manchester. So Leeds, Bradford. I think he's from Bradford. So yeah, that still looks pretty far away. Bispham. Okay, there's that place he was talking about right there. Wow. And that's another thing, is it's cool that it's like right there on the beach. It's even got a zoo. Hey, very cool. And there's the Pleasure Beach. Okay, that looks like that's still a thing. Awesome. Well, there you go. Seaside Resort. I would totally go. I would totally do it. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Hope you're all happy, healthy, and safe. Little breaking news. I don't know if I told you this already, but my son decided, or we misunderstood, he's not staying with us the whole month of December. He is just coming in on the 23rd with his fiancée, and they're going to stay with us through Christmas and to New Year's, I think. So I'll still be able to. My mother-in-law comes in today. Excuse me. And but we have a room for her. So I'll still be able to do videos all through the month of December, which is great because I want to see Christmas lights, Christmas markets, and all those wonderful things. And so, yeah, stick around. If you have any suggestions, let me know. My email, of course, is in the description. And I hope we took our family pictures, so I'll have those ready to email out to anybody who wants them. Just let me know, and I'll let you know when I have them ready to go. And yeah, life's good. Life's good. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark. And